I was having a look at the CoreLogic data for the annual increase in value for the median property. And across the board, the figure was 8% for all of Australia, which is quite substantial. But Melbourne was only 3.2% increase compared to Perth at 19.8, which was the largest increase, Brisbane 15.9, and Sydney at 9.6. And even Adelaide recorded 13.3% increase, yet Melbourne was as low as 3.2. Is this primarily to do with the land tax and driving some investors out of the market, or are there other factors, do you think, that have contributed to the lagging increase?
There's a few factors. I think the first factor is the increased and higher stamp duties for foreigners.
Okay.
Purchases.
That's for Victoria specifically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's one. I think the land tax is a biggie. Wealth is always made from capital gain, generally speaking.
Yes.
For the layman, right? So in that case, the land taxes, what they do is it's revenue rating on a biblical level. There really is, right? So in that, it's like paying GST when you buy something on stamp duty on top. So you're paying a stamp duty and then you're paying GST on that. Like, okay, it's double dipping. Now, so I think in moving forward, our lower growth rate, I think, will come back. As I said, I think it will come back. I think what will happen though, in the interim of coming back, this is the key for investors. When you've got the high rental dollar amounts per rent per month, per day, per week, they will start to force up the yield values, the percentage values of a house. So therefore, if it's getting 3% now with increased rent, because they're going to be harder to get, it'd be easier to get tenants, harder to get houses to rent. So I think the yields will go up, which may bring a few investors back in the market on the peripheral areas. So the peripheral areas of Melbourne are renting very well, still at a reasonable cost base. When you look at Cranbourne, Pakenham, Boronia, Bayswater, those peripheral suburbs are doing very well. You can still buy a house at 600, 700, 800 grand, which you can't do in here at all. All right. So in relation to that, that overall problem will grow, but I would expect that our growth rate doesn't have a lot of option but to go up, purely on lack of supply, more people, more migrants coming in. The position that, and I'm deviating a little bit, but the position that Melbourne is in right now, if it wasn't for migrants, there'd be no increase. That 3% would be looking at zero. That's what I think.
Migration policy set forward, we're bound to see these increases at some point.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. What it has done though is Mr. and Mrs. Australian homeowner is thwarted by trying to buy an investment property right now.
If anyone has any comments or questions, or if you want to share your own perspective on any of these topics, drop those comments in the comments box below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Thanks, John.
Right. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks for all your video work, man.